Are we doing the dang thing? Hello. Nice to see you. Come on this way. Look over here. See what's behind me there? That's good old PAX West 2024. I say good old, but not really. We've never been here before. This is a huge moment for us because you get to explore the show floor right alongside us here at Hypocritic GG. Thank you so much for tuning in. You are watching Hypocritic GG, streaming exclusively on Twitch and YouTube, live from beautiful Seattle, Washington, and PAX West 2024. I'm Lou. I'm Cheatspeak. Look who's here.
And I'm Teresa Cereal.
Wow.
That's my
Hi,
name.
I'm Baloney.
Baloney's
And behind
here
the
too.
camera, as always, the intrepid Save the Baloney, shepherding all of the mountains of technology required to make this work.
So many mountains.
It's going.
It's an entire range. So if you've watched our content before or you've seen us do these sort of live walkthroughs, you're going to know exactly what you're getting into, and that is a live stroll through the action-packed show floors of these various PAX conventions. We do them for East, we do them for Unplugged, and now, for the first time ever, we're doing it here at West.
Welcome home, PAX West.
Welcome home. I moved here. This is it.
You moved here?
This is home.
Well,
Welcome home.
oh, okay.
But I move every time that there's a convention. So when it's East, I move out to Boston. When it's Unplugged, I move out to Philly, and now I live in Seattle.
Okay, vibes. I like it.
It's a very vibey affair. So there's a lot of differences in the overall sort of flow and layout of PAX West versus others like Unplugged and East. To preface, the Seattle Convention Center, if you've never been here like us, is split into essentially two different buildings in two different parts. Arch, which is the older building that has the show floor that we're about to walk around now, and
we are.
Summit, which is the newer building that has basically the rest of the show. All of the fun side rooms, all of the tabletop stuff, all of the panels, all the tournaments, all the rest of the PAX experience. That's not the show floor. A little bit of a teaser, we're going to be bringing you basically a two-part show floor tour because we have to kind of chop it up because of that. So we're just going to be looking through the show floor today here in Arch, and then part two of the show floor tour will be over in Summit to bring you the rest of the PAX West experience. So you better watch both, or you're not going to know both.
All right, pardon this for a moment.
Technology can be so very fickle.
We
You
do
found
our
it?
best.
I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll do our best.
It doesn't feel very level, but does it look level to you?
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Oh, okay,
We're
great.
doing great.
It's dynamic. Dutch angles make it more artsy. We'll be fine. Shall we?
We are on the live page, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Everyone can see us.
Cool.
We see you. Don't worry about it. And we're going to take you through the show floor. Now, because of networking constraints here in Seattle and based on this building's layout, we're basically only going to show you half of the show floor here at Arch. But we'll explain as best we can. And already I think you're going to notice, if you've been with us to East and Unplugged, some very, very key differences in how this works, not least of which is this is a lot more, let's say, claustrophobic and smaller, and it's much, much darker. It's been mood lighting since 9 a.m.
It's
when we
so
got started.
dark. It's very unsettling how dark it is.
Let's find something to show the people.
Let's take a look and show. So, if you want to take a look around here, you can see there's booths on either side. We have the Fan Gamer, we have the NIS, we have the Pokemon Play Lab, a staple of the PAX experience at this point, where you
Yes,
can learn
indeed.
the trading card game and video game, as one does.
Look at that blooming sign.
It's wonderful.
We love a good bloom.
And we're going to take you back deeper into the part of the show floor here where there are more AAA publishers and all sorts of fun activities that you would normally see when you're strolling around PAX.
Do you guys remember Five Nights at Freddy's?
I sure do.
It's not dead yet, don't worry.
It's not dead yet, but you can take a look at this here because it's apparently celebrating a 10th birthday.
Happy birthday, Freddy.
Something along those lines.
We've lost?
I went to show the people some stuff.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. I like it.
Good.
We'll head back.
It's a roving affair. This is the whole
Did you
point.
show them the cupcake?
The sign.
Okay.
How about the cupcake? The birthday cake?
Luscious, lovely, don't bite it. You're going to
But
need to go to
what
the
if
dentist.
I want to bite it?
You're going to need to go to the dentist.
Chomp.
Enjoy those dentures.
Also, hi, you've never heard all three of us at the same time on one of these. How about
That's
that?
right. That
Isn't
is
that
right.
wild?
We did a major technology upgrade for this show in particular, and it's really paying benefits for things like this show floor tour, where you can now hear all three of us. We can hear you and each other so much better. Wonderful things. So the first thing you're going to notice, I think, as we walk through the show floor here at West is that there are more AAA publishers than East has seen in years. If you remember those years of the show floor, you would have major players like big, upcoming titles from Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, all of these different folks, along with big accessory manufacturers, Corsair, MSI, Asus, all, HyperX, all of these different brands. At East, we've seen the past couple of years, it's sort of shrunk down a little bit, especially in terms of major brand presence. But here at West, it appears quite strong. We have the likes of Capcom, Bandai Namco, Nintendo, and others showing new games that are not yet released, that are coming in the next couple of months. Great timing for Labor Day weekend for that, certainly. And major manufacturers, like we're standing outside of the MSI booth right here, but we have Alienware, we have
MSI,
so many others. Omen, we have
who was it? LG.
LG
is here.
Many. Corsair might also be here. There's many more than we would traditionally see nowadays. Audio-Technica, which the one time a year I buy my Audio-Technica stuff.
Is always at PAX.
Famously.
I'm known for it. It's in the multiverse. All variants of me. And here you can see exactly where this sort of pays dividends. So we have the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster on our left from Capcom with a bunch of other games that they have here, including Street Fighter VI with a new character, I believe, Marvel vs. Capcom, Fighting Collection, and again, just that AAA major game presence that you love to see at shows like this, that again, you don't necessarily see at East as much of, and certainly that's not unpleasant.
I believe, guys, we are currently disconnected. However,
it is recording. We will have a copy of this.
Lovely.
But we're back up.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Okay. Hello again.
Good to know. So you can see Nintendo's booth this time around had 4 games on display that you played in sequence. So you didn't get to just pick and choose which ones you got to play. You went through each one with about 10-15 minutes of demo time in sequence. That includes 2 unreleased games, major games in their holiday season, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, as well as Super Mario Party Jamboree. The former comes out late September, the latter comes out in October, I believe, and then there was also Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, which launched on the Switch in July, as well as the new season of Star Wars Hunters, an Overwatch-esque MOBA that is now available on Nintendo Switch, as well as iOS and Android. We were at that booth this morning. Obviously, we try to get Nintendo done in press hour. It's very busy.
Because otherwise you will not get through.
Even when we got there, it took up our entire hour, and well spent. What did you think of the Nintendo showing?
I liked Echoes of Wisdom a lot more than I thought I would. But then again, I think they did try to make it a lot like Link to the Past, which I think helped me like it more because I enjoyed Link to the Past a lot.
And it's, they were careful to tell me, at least, that it's a much more puzzle-oriented Zelda game in that more traditional sense and not as action-oriented. So if you struggle a little bit with Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom and that sort of more action, live, real-time action-based gameplay, this has a more sedate, certainly the more friendly kind of pastel, cutesy look of something like the Link's Awakening remake, as well as a slower-paced puzzle game feel that is more approachable or not, depending on your viewpoint. I struggled a little bit this morning.
I was mad that the person next to me was going faster than I was, so
Spoils.
I know, I just went faster and beat them. That's all.
I would look right, see Lou behind me. I would look left, see Teresa in front of me, and I'd go, I'm doing fine.
You're right on pace. It was perfect. Then we did get a chance to play Super Mario Party Jamboree. There is a daily challenge mode in that game where these sets of 3 mini-games apiece that you play through in sequence rotate out daily with different themes and different, ways that they're lumped together. And
we decimated Dead Scrub.
Oh, we did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was. I'm sorry, but
I did
I'm
not. I was on his team half the time, so ripperoni.
All's fair in Love and Mario Party. But that's going to be a ton of fun, and that was probably what I was most excited to see from them here. Over 110 different mini games, very much in the vein of Mario Party Superstars, with old boards returning from at least the first 3 games in the series, and a whole bunch of additional modes for what could well be kind of the ultimate Mario Party experience we haven't seen in quite some time.
I hope it is. I miss the old maps from Mario Party 7. That was my Mario Party.
That was your one. The old maps from Mario Party 7, folks.
Also, Cheatspeak and I are going on that, you know, that German pretzel cutting show?
Yes.
Perfectly in half?
Yeah. We were, so for context, there's a mini game in Jamboree where you have to cut steaks as close to perfectly in half as you can. We did really terribly in the practice. When it got to the real game, we were 50-50 on almost all 3.
In the practice, I was like 49-51 on every single one. The first one was 50-50, actually. But and I was like so confident going in, and then the actual game, I was like ruined.
And then we were scrubbing.
Scrubbed so hard.
That then led us into Nintendo World Championships NES Edition, which is now, again, out on the Switch and has been available since last month, where you go through very, bite-sized challenges of various difficulties in old games from the NES, everything from the original Donkey Kong up to, Ice Climbers Balloon Fight, running the gamut. And fun if you like that very bite-sized, incredibly competitive take on those games, up to 8 players at once, which is fun. But if you're not familiar with how those games work, or you've never played them, it does take some acclimation.
Oh, there's all sorts of tutorials and practices and instructions. Not that we
definitely did not do
that we did not have over on us.
We had someone extremely competitive in our group of 8, and they did not want us to know what was happening.
Nope.
I still
It was
want
very frustrating.
just in case there was confusion. And then Star Wars Hunters, which again is a sort of Overwatch-esque MOBA that first started life on mobile platforms before coming to Nintendo Switch very recently, I think. And a fair bit of fun there too. I think maybe not the most performant title on the Switch, and Switch is probably not where you go for very performant titles anyway, especially of that caliber. But great casual fun, at least as far as I saw, and it's also free to play. So there's no harm in trying.
We
love free to play.
We did okay. We crushed that other team.
Oh, we absolutely.
Oh my god!
It was like 25-8, something like no contest.
We definitely can't show this type of gameplay on stream because we just don't want to show off. But trust us, guys, this Nintendo booth dominated.
we can't be harming any Virgin eyes or ears.
Right,
let's continue.
Way, yeah?
All right, yeah. Let's maybe circle around here so you can get a look at the Dawn Trail Final Fantasy XIV booth. This game goes harder seemingly each and every year with its player base expanding, and has basically seen a real resurgence and a new life in the past couple of years. It is omnipresent. It has been at every PAX that I can remember for the past few years.
Oh, Dawn Trail. No, well, it was Final Fantasy XIV, yeah.
Yeah, not in the Dawn Trail name, but the product has been there for quite some time. It is essentially a mainstay at this point, and is typically one of the biggest booths that you see. At East, it is very, very large. I think comparatively, it's probably a similar size here at West. But the scale of all of these things is a little bit different and kind of messes with you a little because of how much smaller the overall convention space is compared to somewhere like East or Unplugged.
Yeah, East and Unplugged is one huge room, right? And this is, even in the same building, it's 2 separate rooms for only half of the expo hall. Which
we will show you as we loop back around that way. The mood lighting in here also makes for some very impressive booth displays, like here for Path of Exile, which you can see. Very well lit, very moody, very immersive, and really, for those more open convention halls like Boston or Philly, East
Lord,
and
we
Unplugged
bloomin'.
respectively. Oh, we moving?
Bloomin'.
Oh, we bloomin'. Oh, good. Well, see, it's immersive. We bloom.
You gotta dance when you bloom, otherwise it's not as fun.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you know.
Now I know. Well, now I have to. You have to announce every bloom that we get. You have to announce, and we will dance
shimmy,
accordingly.
shimmy, ah.
A little emote.
On the right is PAX Arena. We're about to come past.
We are.
Oh my god, they're playing Jenga.
A big old Jenga.
They're doing Jenga.
Let's get a look at this Jenga.
This is. Oh my god.
Just in time. Brutal.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning show, ladies and gentlemen.
This man is on the floor.
Incredible.
Amazing timing for that.
That was
Truly.
perfect.
This is the kind of primo A+ USDA Prime content you can only get while roaming the show floor with Hypocritic GG live on Twitch and YouTube. Moving along here, you can see we've hit most of the major accessory maker stations now, and it has given us a little bit of room to breathe. The Bandai Namco booth here with us with a few titles: Little Nightmares 3, Unknown 9 Awakening, which we were able to preview earlier today, and we'll have some thoughts on. Omen, LG, and WebOS. There's your Little Nightmares 3.
This wall is rated PG, y'all.
Come on over to this rated PG wall.
Okay.
Gonna get a sketch in here. This is at the Omen booth, where we are awakening creation.
What are you doing?
Everything from, Blue Shell was here. We have a Sonk and the Tails. We
I didn't say
have
we couldn't put
Great.
a URL.
cute little bears saying Happy PAX. We got a little Among Us. And there we are.
Did I hit that? I'm so sorry.
Basically in our brand colors as well. So that is just beautiful synergy.
That's what we're here for, isn't it?
That's the only reason I
Synergy?
came. Was to write on the board. And now we fly home.
That's it?
If the airport works, we will.
I don't think the airport's going to work.
It hasn't been good so far. For context, the Seattle-Tacoma Airport, which obviously services this area primarily, underwent and experienced a major cyber attack in recent days that has taken down a lot of their infrastructure and signage, and I'm told it is just not an ideal place to be at the moment.
I had to recalibrate it, so we got a little vertical video in there. I'm sorry, guys.
It keeps them on their toes. And then, we circle back here. Like we said, we have the Alienware booth. We have several other manufacturers making up what is and what you would normally consider the first third of the PAX East show floor. So if you remember our previous PAX East tours, and if you've ever been to the show, you can kind of break the primary floor up into three parts. The first third, when you get right off the escalators up front, are your AAA publishers, your major gaming accessories, your big brand integrations, the size of, DoorDash or Dunkin' or whoever else should totally sponsor us when we say their name.
We totally have enough followers to make a sponsorship worth it. Please do
Oh,
it.
absolutely. I can sell it like no other. The middle section, which is the other half of the show floor that we unfortunately can't show you because of the networking constraints, is where, basically the indie scene lives. PAX Rising, smaller publishers, 1 to 3, 5-person teams showing their wares, which we'll have a lot of content from over the next few days, especially. And then the back third, which would be the sort of tabletop area with all the vendors, tabletop free play, etc., is an entirely separate building here at PAX West and Seattle, the Summit building. Well, again, we're currently in Arch, and we'll be showing you a show floor tour of that probably tomorrow in part 2, and that is, again, the rest of the PAX experience as well. It's theaters, it's tournaments, it's arcade rooms, it's all of the ancillary things around it. Well, not ancillary, but all the extra stuff that's not the show floor is all there, and we'll be showing you all of that tomorrow afternoon. Wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
So it's a very interesting experience having the two very different arms of the show, where it is the show floor and then the rest of it. That was perfect. Split like this. I think it's
and to be clear about all that, so the rest of it is not in this building. There's still another half of the show floor that's the smaller publishers. That is not what we're talking about. That's still in this building. Mm-hmm. There's another building with tabletop panels and
everything else.
Actually,
Literally.
I think all of the theaters are in that building as well.
Yep, and that's what we were just saying. All the theaters, all of the tournament places, all of the meetup and community rooms, the rock band stage or like the Just Dance stage, the beer lounge, all of the other niceties around the show floor experience are all in an entirely separate building.
The beer lounge is outside, man.
I thought there's one inside.
Is there
too.
one inside
Yes,
too?
there
Okay,
is.
because we were walking down the street and we saw them setting up the Red Bull thing. I was like, oh, that's cool. There's a Red Bull thing. And then there was the Ack Inc. Lounge, the beer lounge, also outside on a street they closed off for the convention, which I thought was really cool.
And that's, for context too, the experience of actually going around outside is very unique, and I think maybe more accommodating here at West, where between the two buildings, they've blocked off entire streets downtown that they've filled with food truck vendors and other experiences that make it a much more lively place to be when you're not in one of the two buildings or you're going to and fro, because there is a lot of walking between them if you want to experience everything across all 4 days, and that's great. It leads to a lot of food options, a lot of ways to keep yourself nourished, which has not been a problem for us so far, which can be a little tricky in the Seaport district of Boston, so it's a little bit more like Unplugged.
For sure.
Love it. Let's go this way because we can show you in between the two halves of the show floor here in Arch. There is this sort of Skybridge or Skyway where a lot of other smaller vendors live. Some folks like Child Play and Mega 64, that sort of crowd. And it essentially serves as a link between these two disparate halves of the Arch building where pretty much all of the games are. Now, to clarify as well, we're on the 4th floor of this convention center. There are staggered booths around Arch that are not specifically here and specifically in this building or on this floor. There are some on the 3rd floor, there are some on the 2nd floor. There's even some out here in hallways where PlayStation has, I think, Astrobot. I think has a playable demo there. There are one or two others that are sort of just scattered about. But generally, you're going to find all of that video game-related content and a lot of the merchandise right here in Arch. And this is where it sort of splits off. We came in from that entrance right on the left, and if we kept going forward here, we would move into what you would see as the second half of the exhibit hall, which is essentially the out-of-bounds area, and will get us kicked out of multiplayer if we go in there, because we're not allowed to go there or the stream will die, and we don't want to die.
No die.
So you can kind of see behind us there's a lot of different merch and wares, some of which is also in the second half of the show floor as well, alongside a lot of those indie publishers and very small development teams. You have a lot of that merchandise of all sorts. Most game related, some not. But we'll see a lot more of that, I think, in Summit tomorrow when we take a look at some of the tabletop wares and all of the great vendors that go with that.
Well, it has been exciting.
Riveting. It has been very riveting, very exciting. Hope you enjoyed this little taste, and we'll leave you with just some initial, I think, first impressions of how West has been for us, having experienced, in some cases, 10 plus years of PAX East and quite a few years of Unplugged, as that show has grown over time. But what I want to maybe leave us with is some impressions of how, day one of West has been. How has day one of West been?
I have sea legs.
We got our sea legs.
We got wiggly legs.
We got some wiggly legs.
They're getting more stable as we go. It's been pretty fun. It was really fun seeing people that we usually only see at East over here as well, from other media outlets to actual people running the show. So that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, it's been a really fun time to and you don't often have that experience of an entirely new convention of this scale that you've never seen before. So as we sort of cast that wider net for Hypocritic and for all of you watching and kind enough to engage with us across time, it's a really unique experience to be able to see something for the first time. I have really enjoyed what I've seen so far. I think there's a lot of the setup in terms of how the content is laid out, where it all is physically, spatially, between the two different buildings. That is really interesting. It's certainly been very, very accommodating in terms of getting food and walking around and feeling like you're not just kind of bottlenecked into that one building all the time. It's a little more open. That does mean it's not as centralized, so you do have to kind of be more deliberate about what you're doing. I want to be at Summit here doing tabletop stuff. I want to do more demo things today, or bounce around. It's a little more work from that perspective, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because there's a lot of pros to it too.
For sure. What are baloney thoughts?
Baloney?
Well,
how was your day one?
it was good.
What do you think about
My feet hurt.
the experience?
Yep.
Your feet? We've been on our feet for a while.
It's a little different. I like it. It feels a little bit more segmented. It feels more digestible. Seattle's great.
Seattle's great. It's been a while since I've been here, at least.
It's been ever for me. This is my first time in Seattle.
This is an ever trip, and you were here 2-3 weeks ago?
Yep.
Old hat, So I think that's all the teaser you're going to get for right now. So make sure you tune back into us tomorrow afternoon, where we're going to be bringing you again through the summit portion of the Seattle Convention Center, where the rest of PAX West is unfolding. Everything from tabletop free play to tabletop vendors to the rock band stage to tournaments to extra stages and theaters and all the rest of the PAX experience, concerts and beyond, will all be there. But for now, I think we'll have to leave you there.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Thank you so much for watching. This is Hypocritic GG, streaming live on Twitch and YouTube. I'm Lou, I'm Cheat Speak.
I'm Teresa from Serious Cereal.
I'm Justin. Save the baloney.
Keep it tuned here for more from PAX West 2024 all weekend long.